Over the past year or so, energy prices have increased significantly across the continent of Europe. This is partly a result of geopolitical developments that have unbalanced the energy markets. But this is hardly the whole tale. The kind of infrastructure used to produce electricity is another factor contributing to Europe's energy dilemma. Since things have become so bad, the European Union has recently revealed plans to drastically alter its energy markets, despite warnings from several other nations to avoid doing so. According to Reuters, Denmark, Germany, the Netherlands, Estonia, Finland, Luxembourg, and Latvia have urged Brussels against making significant changes to the European Union's power market in response to the current energy crisis and instead advocated for minor adjustments. The European energy market, according to detractors, will be destroyed by what the European Union plans to do. How did we get here? The answer may lay in the energy mix that the European continent consumes. The European Union is considering substantially changing the infrastructure of its energy markets. The EU's energy mix in 2020 included 34.5% of oil and petroleum products, 23.7% of natural gas, 17.4% of renewable energy, 12.7% of nuclear energy, and 10.5% of solid fossil fuels, according to recent data from Eurostat. Additionally, in 2020, the EU imported 57.5% of the energy it used for internal use, and stock changes only met 42.5% of its requirements. The data items in question. Over 50% of Europe's energy came from commodities like oil and gas, whose prices have been rising or fluctuating dramatically over the past year or so. This is where the root of Europe's energy dilemma resides. Nearly 60% of the total energy was imported, which made up a major portion of this. In other words, markets essentially decide how much energy Europe will require. Electricity costs are hitting record highs across Europe, hammering individuals with increased power bills and putting governments on the spot, according to a recent article in Politico. The quick explanation for why electricity costs are so high is because a significant portion of the electricity generated in Europe is produced using natural gas, whose prices are skyrocketing. However, there is also another problem with Europe's existing energy mix. It is not sustainable to rely solely on fossil fuels. As Elon Musk has already stated, these will ultimately run out. Russia was the primary natural gas exporter to Europe. A major factor in the Cold War's failure to spiral out of control was the pact between these two countries, particularly between Germany and Moscow, which served as a means of maintaining diplomatic relations after World War II. This diplomatic bridge has recently collapsed, nevertheless, for well-known reasons. A significant rise in the price of oil and natural gas has been the economic result of this. Europe is being forced by this development to find alternative sources of electricity. The Guardian pointed out that the bloc of 27 European nations successfully pursued energy-saving policies, quickly built up new liquid natural gas infrastructure, and found resourceful ways to support one another in times of shortage to replace about 80% of the natural gas it had previously drawn through pipelines with Russia. However, changing up its energy infrastructure is an expensive operation that cannot be sped up. However, it appears that things have eased down recently because the Financial Times reported that natural gas prices had dropped to their lowest levels in 18 months. This was also supported by other news organizations, such as CNN, which reported on February 17 that benchmark wholesale petrol prices dropped by almost 5% on Friday to reach €49, $52 per megawatt hour, the lowest level since September 2021, and a small portion of the all-time high of €320 that was reached in August of last year, according to data from an independent commodity intelligence service. Some investors have come to feel that the energy crisis is over as a result of this development. In actuality, a recession is already present in many economies. The term rolling recession is increasingly in use. According to Forbes, an economic recession occurs when an economy's overall output decreases as opposed to growing. Usually, changes in the gross domestic product are used to gauge this. A rolling recession, in particular, is the kind that doesn't affect the economy as a whole evenly. Instead, it strikes various market segments at various periods. This means that even if the economy as a whole might not be in a recession, some people in particular communities or industries might experience one. Is this just a polite way of avoiding pointing out the obvious? After all, not every sector of the economy is affected equally during a recession, but it does not exclude a recession from affecting the entire economy. Why a worldwide recession is unavoidable in 2023 was the title of an essay published in The Economist in November 2022. The Economist typically does well at making future predictions, especially when using its covers, which are well known in the financial sector for their propensity to do so. That's all for today's video. I hope that this video is helpful for you. So do like and subscribe to our channel for more informative videos. And share your ideas in comment section.